talked about the status of the black coaches. Tomlin let them have it a little bit at the NFL owners meeting. And as a result, they've made some changes. Have you seen any about the news about the changes?
Changes to what? The Rooney Rule?
Well, yes, there's some changes to the Rooney Rule, but there are more changes than just that. What they're going to do is they're going to require that you have an offensive assistant on every team, and they're going to subsidize it the league is going to subsidize that position. Because offensive coordinator assistant, yes.
Coordinator.
Coach, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
They're saying the predominant amount of coaches are coming out of the offensive side.
Okay.
So if that's where the opportunity is, they want to make sure that you have minorities in the pipeline for that.
Including females.
Including females, yes.
Got it.
Including females.
I thought that was an amendment to the Rooney Rule that I did hear.
The interesting thing to me, Benny, is when we go back to our fundamental point is that the problem is with the owners. It just seems to me that they keep building a bureaucracy here. And again, nobody's going to go to, what's the Patriot owner? Now, he'd be a bad person to ask this question to. But let's say you have an owner and that's maybe, what is it, the Dolphins owner, right? Well, he just fired a black quarterback, so he's part of the suit. So you can't talk to him. But to go to the owners and say to them, what's up with your track record on hiring black coaches? Because you're the final say here. And you've had no black coaches or one black coach out of X amount of hiring. They don't do that. They just don't go to the horse and just approach it. And if they said to them, this is what the problem is, or this is why, this is what they're bringing, whatever they said would be the reason, then you could maybe develop something in context with the owner to open that opportunity up. But if the owner just shows himself that he just don't want to, then at least you know what you're dealing with. Here, I
think we're at that point already.
You don't know what you're dealing with, really.
Now, I think we're at that point already. I think they do know why certain owners have never had a black head coach or a black general manager or more than one or two black coordinators, because they just don't want them. And it's my team, and I can hire who I want. They're not going to say, because I don't like black people. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, it's my team, and I can hire whoever I want. And you can't tell me that I can't do that.
Are they going to? You think they're going to say that publicly?
What? That I can hire who I want?
Yeah, the owner.
They say it every year. They say it every year.
I mean, actually say it.
It's
one thing that they do it. It's another thing that they say it with a microphone in front of their face and as the answer to a question from media.
Well, it's kind of obvious when they get the microphone in front of their face and they say, we interviewed these 6 people and we felt like this guy was the best fit for us and we chose him. It's the same thing. If you keep doing that and it's always a white guy every time, when you can look at resumes, you can do the eye test, you can watch these guys work on other teams at assistant levels or coordinator levels, and if you know anything about football, and I'm not even talking about me, I'm talking about people that are already in the NFL, and say, this guy's unquestionably better for this job than that guy. They can say, we felt that he interviewed better, he was a better fit. Everybody knows the buzzwords. They know what they're dealing with. That's why they're saying now you have to do this. Because if they don't say you have to do this, they're never going to do it.
Well, let's keep an eye out, because you can have all the offensive coordinators you want. That doesn't mean you're going to hire them. You know, that's you're automatically going to sit there with a 2 or 3 year lag, because you're going to say, well, you can't hire them next year because we just hired them last year as an assistant, so they don't have the experience. You know, so there's this buffer that's built in. It's just going to continue to be a bureaucratic.
Right, but they'll hire a high school coach.
Right, exactly. Oh, actually, I think they added another thing, and I'll be quite honest with you. You have to go back to the article, but they're going to have a certain minimum requirements now, I believe, for head coaches. So that
again, because they know if you have a overqualified offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coach of color, there's no doubt about it. Every player that ever played under this guy loves him. He has proven his worth. Maybe he's been on a Super Bowl team, and an owner hires a dude out of high school, never coached in the NFL. It happens. Never, even in college, never coached in the NFL at any level. And you say, why did you hire him instead of him? What are they going to say? He interviewed well. We felt he was a better fit. They know what they're dealing with. That's why they have to make these rules. They have to make them do it. Because if they don't make them do it, they ain't going to do it. And they're still going to hit roadblocks, like you said. So they hire a woman to be an assistant offensive coach. She might sit there on that job for who knows how long and never get promoted, because they only hired her to fill the requirement. Just like all these black coaches, Eric Bieniemy gets interviewed every single year, never gets hired as a head coach. They're just using him and using that interview to fill the requirement.
Well, okay. Let's track this. We'll stay on it. We talk about this on an ongoing basis.